Okay. Hello, good morning, and welcome to this morning's morning vibe. Welcome to this morning's morning vibe. Welcome to this morning's vibe. All right. So, I got the Brothers Johnson back there stomping a little bit. I got my candle burning, sending love out into the collective, especially to those who are battling darkness. We want you to know that you can win. We want you to know that you can win. And the truth is that, look at my shirt. My friend gave it to me. Unless God sent you, I'm unavailable. Heard that because that's how they do it, you guys. That's how darkness does it. They're going to bring in those individuals who don't mean you well, okay? And like most of the time, people who are, let's see, what is that? You know, my OCD is like, it's something on the desk. They're going to bring in people who remind you of how you have always seen yourself, which is likely not the way that the divine sees you, okay? And that is the devil in your life. So, like, if you had somebody growing up that always oppressed you and made you feel less than great, that energy just it's almost like it just switches individuals. It switches bodies. It switches bodies. you know, because I have a person in my life made me feel very small from the time I was small, insignificant, like I had no power, and I believed that person, and I would try to fight against it, and I would overdo in some areas, but ultimately the seed that was planted at that time did stay with me. And I'm in a place right now, and I'm just being very vulnerable with you guys, but I'm in a place right now where I feel like I am having to use strategy to outwit the devil. And I've also been listening to that book, Outwitting the Devil, so y'all need to go listen to it. A lot of the things I talk about on here and how to defeat the devil in your mind are in the book. But that is also what I want to talk about today, because we've got the Emperor in reverse. So there's quite a few astrological aspects today. But here's what I said. Control and tyranny, cold-blooded Iceman release control. We want the Iceman to release control. Okay, so then we've got Neptune reverse, opposed Moon, no, and the Node, and Uranus. Oh wait, I put a slash there, so it must be two different. I don't know. I'm not looking at the chart, and I wrote this the other day. It's like a long, what they call them shits. What they call that in math? Like they just call the problem. I don't know. Anyway, I see some division symbols. It's a lot. Okay, here we go. Dreams and emotions in opposition. And then we've got destiny and awakening. So the node and Uranus are together, and they're trying to move. So then destiny and awakening times emotion. So amplification there. But it feels like I said, with Neptune retrograde is going to give you very much visions and dreams, but I don't know what she's doing. I feel like I said specifically, hey, I'm about to go record, so when you come in, don't make a lot of noise. And what she do? Make all the noise. Okay, so yes. So Neptune retrograde is like it's going to give you a distortion of the visions. Like let's say that you're very psychic and you usually get downloads and you're usually on point with your intuition. Well, at this time there's going to be some distortion there. And with it in opposition to the moon, you're going to be emotionally triggered by what you see, what you think you feel, and all of that stuff. And then we've also got Mars sextile Mercury in this exact today. So that is action, aggression, and communication. So, like, what I really want people to be aware of right now is the fact that they probably, on some level, will feel like they have a duty to their destiny to go like this, like, no, I'm doing it, and then just rage. But like, you need to just settle for a minute because you might be getting messages from the darkness that try to influence you and encourage you to explode, to let go in a way that could be a detriment to you. So like if somebody comes into your experience and they try to offer you crumbs or you feel like they're trying to disrespect you, you don't have to explode on them. All you have to do is say, I don't like that. So I saw this guy saying, if you have a conversation with a malignant narcissist, that you should use the gray rock method, which is like, you let them talk or whatever. And then whenever you respond to them, you don't give them any emotion because that's what they're banking on. They're banking on your emotional response. They're banking on being able to move you because that's what makes them feel alive. If they can affect your emotions negatively, then they live. If they can't affect you, then they don't feel alive. They feel dead. They feel like they don't exist. Like a lot of these people, the only way that they feel like they are, I guess, in power or affecting others is by fucking with them. So it is your responsibility to learn to control your emotional response to people who are offering you not love. Okay. So here's what the note was. I'm sorry, that was a little bit of a rambling. But again, Neptune is in retrograde, so the messages that I'm getting could be a little bit distorted. I don't know. I ain't tripping. I'm on here, I'm talking, and I'm showing up. Okay, they got the yard man out there again. Nobody can take away what you were born to do, and nobody can make you stop the work you're doing. Only you can prevent oppression by standing up. Do not be afraid to lose anything. You can always get back more. And we need to remember that. We need to remember that. Like, when you think you're losing something, you are actually creating space for what is meant to be there or something that is going to serve you better in that space. So people like me, people like probably like you, historically people pleasers have a tendency to want to hold on to what they've been used to because of the comfort or the validation, because just like those people feel validated by abusing you, you likely feel validated and like you're alive by the abuse. Like, okay, now I know I'm alive because I've been hurt. But you don't have to live that way, okay? So I wanted to talk about today. We got the Emperor in reverse. And, I read the keywords tyranny, control. I want to talk about outwitting the devil, okay? Because, like I said, I've been listening to the book. And I feel like if we get some more information on how to do that, we will all be better served. So I'm going to get into that right now. All right. I am calling in support of my angels, ancestors, guides, ascended masters. Hold on just a second. Michaela. No, ma'am. Okay, one more time. I am calling in the support of my angels, ancestors, guides, ascended masters, my heavenly Father, my Creator who lives in me. Hallelujah. I'm at peace. I'm at ease. I honor and see myself. I agree to find the path, stay the course, trust the process, and enjoy the journey. Amen. You're not going to play in my face. I told you already not to make noise. Then you came in barreling like you were bringing in crates downstairs. And now you're flipping around on the bed. No, ma'am. All right. So how do we get on top? How do we get on top and defeat darkness? We got the 3 of diamonds. The Ace of Hearts. And the 3 of Clubs. So we've got a need to work in collaboration with the divine or somebody who can teach you, or even just reading a book. Returning to love and deciding, making a choice to do it. But the thing is that, and I had a conversation with my mom and Michaela yesterday where she said, oh, hold on, let me say what I'm going to say. Excuse me. She said, if you don't, basically she was telling me if I don't celebrate the 4th of July that I was going to hell. Yep. And I said, do you know where hell is? Because she keeps saying down there. That's fine. I believe that hell is a state of being on earth.
Yes, it is.
Now she's saying that is too. Okay, but which one is it? Anyway, so you have to be able to see that you are under attack. If you think that the devil is a physical entity that you will not meet until you end your life and go to hell, then you're not going to be able to fight the devil in your current state on earth. Hold on just a second. So you have to be able to locate the devil. And I teach my students to begin with tracking their thoughts, because that's where the devil attacks you. Just like I was saying about having people in your life from the time that you're very young who condition you to not believe in yourself or not think that you have any worth or value. The devil will use that energy to abuse you throughout the course of your life. So you have to be able to spot it. So if a person comes into your experience and if a person comes into your experience and you feel powerless to them and they are abusing you and you don't feel well, you need to be able to say, you know what, I know what that is. So in that moment, you need to be in a position to ask the divine for support, but you're not going to be able to do that if you don't have a relationship. And that's why I say returning to love is really key. You have to be able to forget what you were taught about heaven, hell, God, and the devil in order for you to lean on God. Because there's a lot of us who were raised with these really strict ways of thinking, and this is how you pray only, and this is how you do, and if you do this then you're bad. So then you're going through your whole life doing the things that you were told were bad. You would feel like God would not support you. Like, why would I be able to talk to God? God would not talk to me. I'm not good. I'm already belongs to the devil, right? No. No. That's not true. So, it's about you really being able to develop your own relationship with the divine so that you can work together to defeat the darkness. Okay. So let's get some more cards. Love to you. Yeah, I had to put her out because she was crawling on the floor right here, inching over here. Ma'am, I'm not going to do that with you. Like, you want to play and make a TikTok, we can do that. This right here, this is what I'm doing, okay? And I'm already distracted enough. I do not need you sliding across the floor with the stuffed animal, making more distraction. She was like, no, mommy, I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to touch you. But you're going to get out of my room. I don't know what to do with this cup. Because, oh, I want you to do. I mean, and the thing about it is, too, like, it's so funny to me that, like, Americans, and I don't know if y'all saw this, people who follow me on social media probably saw me posting a promo flyer for WTF America, the podcast. But Americans don't realize that, like, this government operates in the energy of the devil and with intention, because their goal is to operate in oppression. Their goal is to operate in oppression. They want to oppress you. So it ain't no different than a person who comes into your experience, sees how great you are, sees how powerful you are, sees how beautiful you are, sees how divine you are, and then tries to put a cup on top of that. Because that's what they do. Oh, look at this person living. Look at this bright light. Let me go ahead and dampen it with rules and restrictions and triangulation and manipulation. Same shit. And my mother also told me, which of course my mother's the one who taught me about God and the devil. She also told me that I should not be basically talking about the government in public. What they gonna do? Well, I don't want it to affect your job, your jobs or your business or... Lady, listen to me. This country is going downhill. Just yesterday, some interesting white young man went ahead and shot and killed 6 people at a 4th of July parade. Then 2 police officers were shot in Philadelphia at another 4th of July parade. This country is going downhill. Last week, Jalen Walker was shot up to 90 times in the face and the body, then handcuffed after he was shot dead by the police in this country. If you think I am not going to talk about injustice, I'm not going to stand up and say, what the fuck, America, every time I possibly can, because I'm afraid I'm not going to get a job or I'm not going to have a client. I wish the fuck I would. Because let me tell you something. This is my work. Yeah, I get on here and I read these cards with y'all and I do this and I look at the chart and that kind of stuff. But my work is in Black liberation. Okay? My true work, the foundation of my work is in Black liberation. Okay? And so this is my time. And I'm not going to be quiet because you are afraid that somebody won't give me a job. All that's going to happen is the people who have businesses and entities that are aligned with my mission are going to ask me to help them, and they ain't going to pay me. And that's how I'm going to get money. Like, God is not going to ask me to, on his behalf, her behalf, their behalf, whoever, to get out here and say, return to love. You can pray even if you don't do it in their way. You still have power. You are still worthy. You are still chosen. You are still love. Not going to push me out here and tell me to do it and then leave me out here hanging out to dry because America. That's not going to take place. Okay. So, yeah. How else? Return to love, connect to the divine. I mean, that's how I done it. That's how I done it. And I still have days where I have to say, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. Because my life is not perfect. I still have days in which I feel like, man, this is hard. But I have to remember, and I don't know if I told y'all about this, but I met this man last week who was like, remember who told you. Remember who told you. And then yesterday, a friend of mine brought me a prayer, and I'll read it to y'all and tell y'all what it says. It says, God, I want to do your will. I believe that you have called me to do this, so I'm walking in obedience. Show me how. And this morning, whenever I heard I need to talk about outwitting the devil in association with this card and reading that book, I'm doing it because that's what my spirit say. And that's what I'm listening to. When you put your arms around me. All right, we got the Ace of Wands in reverse. You give me fever. The Knight of Swords. Fever through the night. The Four of Swords. That's the overall card for the week. The moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name. You get me fever. I like Peggy. I love it. Four of Wands in reverse. All right. So we've got the Ace of Wands in reverse, the Knight of Swords, the Four of Swords, and then the Four of Wands in reverse. So what I'm getting right here is just like what I was talking about with my mom and saying don't do this or whatever. You cannot be afraid to take action and move forward. Okay? So I know I mentioned this previously, but whatever the devil is in your life that you are clinging to, because it is what has kept you stabilized or protected, you feel, you imagine, it has also kept you stuck. It's also keeping you stuck and at an imbalance, and that is the design. It is meant to destabilize you and to have you going like this and mistrusting. And let's not forget the tools that are used in order for the devil to be able to attack you. Fear, ignorance. Fear and ignorance. I'm scared. You better not be scared of nothing. You need to know that you are under divine protection. I'm not afraid of this. I'm not afraid of you. I don't care who you are or what you gonna do. If you kill me, that means that I probably done all the work that I came here to do. That's it. But do you want to live, or do you just want to exist? And do you want to be in a crippling state of fear that keeps you from trying anything? Like, I probably have done so many things that maybe didn't yield results, or maybe I ended up, hurt afterwards or whatever. But I tried because I have an obsession with knowledge and learning and trying and doing things. And that's good. That's part of it. Part of what I came here to do was to learn so that I could share with others who are not brave enough to go do it without me saying it's safe to jump in. What we talked about a couple weeks ago, we talked about jumping off the cliff into the water and going like this on the way down which is the same movement that you are required to use once you fall into this water, right? It is safe. It is safe for you to go into your mind and reprogram yourself in order for you to be free. Because you are always going to be a slave to this energy until you do that. So you need to pay attention to what you're thinking. Every time you get ready to do something, pay attention to the thoughts that come up. Don't just label it imposter syndrome and then just say, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. Stop for a second. Pay attention to what is creeping up on you. That's so important because that is the record that is playing in your mind. So if you don't take the record off and you don't replace it with something else, something like, God, I want to do your will. I believe you have called me to do this, so I'm walking in obedience. Show me how. Versus, oh, why did I do this? This is so crazy. This is so stupid. I should never have done this. Because what you probably hear is, that is so stupid. You should not have done this. Look how dumb you look. You look crazy. So you got to take that record off and put something new on. It doesn't have to be that. It could be, I am powerful. I am knowledgeable. I have a special set of skills. I will find you and heal you. It just has to be more positive. It cannot be the negative record that has been playing. That probably was planted when you were a child. Because in this book, Outwitting the Devil talks about how he begins his attack on humans when they're children. Okay? So from the time you're a kid, they're going to use what they can use to break you down. So like for me, growing up in a house with somebody who was not very nice to me and made me feel like I was less than second class. I grew up wanting to be strong and powerful and to achieve and be successful, but I'm hearing that voice that's saying, you can't do that. Nobody would believe you. Nobody's going to trust you. Nobody's going to anything. And I have to remember, I have proven results of my teaching. I have proven results of this work. One, because I've done it for myself. But two, I've done it for other people. I have helped other people achieve. Now, sometimes those people take their time to feel confident enough to say, yes, she helped me. And yes, she did help me to fight the devil. You know, because that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching these people how to win the war in their mind. But if I still believe that I am not capable of doing that, then I would never be able to do it again for anybody else. And my intention is to be able to help other people to also do that. Yes, I do mostly help women, but I believe it is because they're just more vulnerable and open and able to say, I need help. That's not to say I won't help a man, because everybody needs to be able to soften and return to love. Everybody. But there are women who have an imbalance and they are not connected to their divine femininity. I'm just rambling. Those are people I have supported, okay, most recently. There are 4 of them. Only one of them has sent me documentation, and I'm going to post today, actually, a piece of her review. The rest of it is long and personal, so I'm just not sure how I'm going to break it down because I want to make it palatable for social media. Anyway, let us get some more cards. So yes, you can't be afraid to take action and move forward, because what you think has kept you safe has actually kept you stuck, immobile, and at an imbalance. So, as always, what you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? What you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? Look at that. 5 of Wands. Ooh. And the 10 of Swords. Have a death and rebirth experience and keep on fighting that devil. Like, that really makes darkness. Look at the death card. It makes it crazy. because it's about to lose you, which is by design. We want it to lose you. We don't want it to continue to keep its grips on you. And the thing is that you cannot eradicate it. You can't just be like, okay, I'm never going to deal with this again. It's not that, because that's a part of you. Everything has a positive and a negative, including you. It's about being at the balance, okay? Like this 4-1, being at the balance, okay? That's how you come to the inner union. So it's not about eradicating it. Like when I first started, I kept saying, you got to kill your ego. You got to kill your ego. Yeah, you do. But you need it. So what you also have to do is put it together in a way that serves you. Look at it. Go. That's why I always talk about going to find the jewels in the dark. Go find the things that will serve you from that place, because you still need some of those skills, but you don't have to use them to hurt others or yourself. And we see a lot of people who use manipulation to gain power and control, just like this Emperor in reverse. Tyrannical, doing the most, putting things in place to keep other people locked up. Wow, what would you be able to do if you used that energy for something more positive? What would you be able to do if you use that energy for something more positive? So much. There goes the death card again. They're gonna want us to talk about it here. They're gonna want us to talk about it. I just saw the 54. Amen. Yes. I wanna thank you for letting me be myself again. And that's the key, guys. The self in you that you look at that. Everything is fine. We got 10 of Swords. Don't. Let me be myself again. So what are we talking about? We talking about my favorite thing. We talking about having a death and rebirth experience. Leaning into your intuition and returning to your inner child. Returning to the self that had the confidence to do, to be, to live. Okay? Because you're not living. If you're not allowing yourself to enjoy this experience, you're not living. You might as well be dead. You might as well go on ahead and go to glory, as they say. I'm not saying kill yourself or anything like that, but I mean, you're sort of wasting your experience here. We got the 6 of Pentacles. That is learning to give and receive, not being tyrannical and oppressive. A lot of people don't realize that the path to abundance is in the giving and the receiving. So many people want to take. And they see people like us who have been abused, and they say, like somebody told me yesterday that they saw me on a video, this recording I did where I was an interviewer for this documentary, and said that I look weak, wounded. And I was like, why? Is it because I'm a woman? Is it because I look soft? Like, what is it? Like, what is it about me that tells you, looking at me, that you can take advantage of me? And I just thought about it, and I'm like, I worked really hard to get to the point where I'm like, no, you can't take advantage of me. But I know that in order for me to really solidify that, I got to cut off anything that's not serving me. Anything that takes advantage of my gifts, my abilities, and my energy. And I have to be my own governor and be like, this doesn't work for me right now. Thank you, but no thank you. And I can't be afraid to cut that off. I can't be afraid to cut it off. That's how I show the universe I'm serious about not being the type of person that gets taken advantage of anymore. Because I was getting taken advantage of. And I would feel victimized, and I would be like, oh, there's how people keep misusing me. Because you let them. So, of course, if they see you, they're going to be like, oh, look at that. That's cute. Let me put it in my pocket and misuse it. No, I'll fucking bite. Call me the gremlins. Okay. Um, Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And what I mean by that is, y'all remember Gizmo was really cute, but under the wrong circumstances, Gizmo could turn into a gremlin and be very aggressive. So it's like, I just look like this. I actually have a protector, which is also me. But I mean, I'm not sure exactly what I need to do to show up like that, other than like walk up and hit somebody over the fucking head. And that's not me. But if it comes down to it, I'm going to let you know this doesn't work for me. This isn't how you treat me. This isn't going to be how you respect me. Because if you respect me, then this what you're doing right here is not going to be it. This is not going to be it. And ultimately, I respect myself. So it's a no for me, dog. You know what I mean? All right. So with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, what we're looking at is, you know, needing to be able to get started, first of all. Not be afraid to cut off those things, just like I'm talking about, that no longer serve you, that have been, like, because it could be like a job or a client or something that you feel like, oh, if I say no to this, it's going to render me homeless or without or whatever. That's not true, you know, especially being, okay, now y'all about to see my OCD do the absolute most. But especially being in service of the divine, you're not going to be stuck out, okay? But what you can't do is be afraid of the work that comes with the death and rebirth experience. It is not, okay, boom, I listened to a couple of personal development videos, I'm ready. No, you're going to have to put it into practice, which means when the devil comes into your experience and you're faced with that energy, what are you going to do? That is the work. Because if you don't take action, and if you're not actively participating in changing your life in that way, it doesn't change. And you cannot blame God and be like, you keep bringing me these people and you're always making me attract these folks. You have to be able to stand up. You have to stand up. You know, that's a problem I see too, is that people are always expecting a savior. You are your own hero. Okay? You are your own hero. You cannot just be praying and then be saying, in Jesus' name. And I had a conversation with my mom about this yesterday, because she was like, well, I mean, if you don't pray in Jesus' name, then, you know, your prayers, that's the only way. I'm like, but is that really the only way? So if I'm somewhere and I'm stuck out and I say, oh, help me, oh God, if I don't say in Jesus' name, God doesn't hear me? Like, let's find out. Let me find out. But again, that's a video for a different day. But I'm just saying that, like, you are your own hero. So you can't have the devil in front of you presenting you with an offer that you seemingly can't refuse, and you're waiting for Jesus to be like, excuse me, she's not gonna go for this. We ain't doing this. No. You are going to have to actively participate right there and say, this doesn't work for me. I appreciate the opportunity, honey, but no. Okay? And you can't be afraid of what they're going to say about you. Are they going to call me bitch? Are they going to beat me up? Are they going to attack me? You know, there was a lot going on last week in which women who had said no to men were ending up, you know, hurt, and cars was getting destroyed and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, the bottom line is, you don't own me at all. You don't own me. I am my own governor. Okay? The only energy I have to answer to is divinity. Okay? That's it. The rest of this, I don't care what you say. You're not in charge of me. I don't give a damn. And that's kind of the position that you have to take. You know, like, you have to realize that you, as you are stronger than the darkness. And all it takes is for you to die and be reborn in a way that expresses your strength and your vulnerability. That's my new man. That's my new man sending me a text message. No, he's cool though. I got like multiple prospects last week, and I was like, okay, I don't. Y'all know I love boys. I love boys, but I'm trying something different now. I'm trying to use a different energy with these fellas. But I'm having a good time, you know. And I'm standing up for myself. So, it's all good. It's all good. Because I know how to fight that devil. That's how I got attacked. Through relationships, my God. And bitch will always end up in some kind of like, and it's not just submission. It's like being oppressed. It's not submission. It's, you are mine. You belong to me. I'm going to lock you up because I don't want anybody else to look at you, talk to you, and you are mine. And I would be like, okay, no. And I have had that issue not only in romantic relationships with men, but business relationships with men. It's like they see me, and you know, when I start doing stuff, they're like, yeah, I gotta make sure I keep that. And then they try to put these parameters in place where it's like really hard for me to like live. And I'm like, dog, no. Star family, you are part of a team of souls, call, and support. What we say in the very beginning, you got to be able to connect, use your team to collaborate. You have a soul team. You've got the divine, you've got your angels, you've got your ancestors. Like I always call in all of those energies because I'm trying to be supremely supportive, okay? Supported. Call and support. You're not doing it alone. Even if you feel like, I've never done this before, I've never said no. Learn how to say no. Try it once. You're going to feel so good, and your light is going to be so bright. Star Keeper, cosmic ancestor. Seed the light by staying grounded. Hell yeah. Remember what you came here to do. Nobody can take that away from you. If you heard the call and you showed up to do something, you're going to have to grow into the person who does the thing. Please don't forget that. Don't quit before you have finished the first part of your growth, which is for you to start shaking off those shackles. Because once you've shaken off the shackles, everything you learned in the space in which you broke free, you now have to use moving forward. Those are your tools. And you'll have incidents and moments that remind you of those first few experiences in which you were able to break free. Because they want you to remember this happened months before. What you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? You know? What you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? And it's always your choice. If you're not ready to break free, you won't. You'll end up in another situation just like the one that you just broke out of, and it may have a different veil on it in the front. So once you get in there, like, Durr! But it's so that you'll know, okay, so the devil also shows up like this. But once you get in there, it be the same shit. Because I'm telling y'all, this situation I'm about to break out of right now, I'm like, bitch, you just did this. Don't you ever do this again. And I know how I ended up there. And now I know. No, ma'am. Okay? No, ma'am. Because it's not safe for me. Where my cards at, man? It's not safe for me. And like I said, I know how I ended up right there. And I'm not going to do that again. But it took this experience to show me, girl, you really still needed to work right there. And I mean, I've done the work that needs to be done. Because it's been about 7 months. And a lot has changed. A lot has changed. You know, I have changed. So it's like, I feel like I'm ready now, you know. I know my worth. I know my value. And funnily enough, it's like I know what other people are willing to do to try to keep me entangled in their webs. Like, you've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding me. No. Like, mm-mm. 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 Like somebody the other day, I don't know if I was telling y'all, but somebody the other day was telling me how much they were willing to pay for the work that I was going to do. And I was like, that's not enough. Because I know how much of my energy I'm going to be using on this. Because that's the thing, is like, it always starts out with this much effort, right? But once you start doing it, and this is no different than whenever you have a job and you show them how good you are at what you do, they start giving you more shit to do, right? But they don't want to increase your pay. Bitch, I wish the fuck I would. I wish I would, ho. I wish the fuck I would. No. So from the start, at the start, you gonna pay me my worth, and I'm gonna do work, but you're not gonna tell me how much you gonna pay me. If you want the shit done and you want it done right, you gonna pay my way, for real. Which, again, the magic is inside of you. Let it flow. You cannot be afraid. Somebody asked me yesterday, well, do you call yourself a witch? Sometimes. But, like, that's because I believe in magic, you know? Like, I'm not afraid to use the word witch. Like, it don't have a negative connotation to me. And all it means to me is that my prayers be heard and answered. That's what it means to me. When I say a prayer, it's heard and it is answered. That's what it means to me. Like, and I just refuse to continue to live in a way that's like, I am powerless. The only energy that can save me is Jesus Christ. Like, I'm not saying I don't believe in Jesus. I'm not saying that I don't have a relationship with Jesus and God. But I'm going to do my thing my way. I'm going to do my thing my way. And I'm not going to have somebody telling me that I am going to hell when I operate in supreme goodness. I operate in love. Love is the name of my game, always. And unfortunately for some of y'all folks, I love me too, which means if I have to, I'm going to cut you, because I got to protect myself too. You know, if somebody was trying to hurt my daughter, I'm going to jump on their ass. But I lived a long time where somebody was trying to hurt me, I'm going to let them attack me. Fuck that. Now I'm going to jump on your ass if you try to hurt me too. I'm going to jump that ass if you try to hurt me too. So if I love you, I'll go to war for you. If I love you, I will go to war for you. I will go to battle for you. And like I said, unfortunately for these folks out here, that includes myself. That includes myself. So the answer going to be no. If you trying to mistreat me, my very best friend, me, if you trying to mistreat me, the love of my life, me, something going to happen. We finna get into it. Because, no. And it's not even going to be from an overly emotional place. It's just going to be no. No. And if you don't like that, then you can move the fuck around. Period. Period. Like, no more am I going to lay down and allow people to mistreat me because I'm putting them above myself. Not doing that. And I don't really care if people feel like, well, you should never put yourself that high or on a pedestal. That's bullshit. Because if you don't put yourself on the pedestal, you have everybody else up there. And then where are you? Down here. So whenever they start doing shit, you're like, They deserve. I'm just a lowly servant. They deserve. No, put yourself where they are too. I also deserve. I also deserve. Shit. Love. Come on. Come on, Spirit. Like, I'm sick of this. Like, you just allow people to disrespect you because you don't have yourself in the right position. You better put yourself in the right position. And that's what I teach people, how to put themselves in the right position. How not to be afraid to be like, no, that doesn't work for me. I matter. This card indicates a need to see the world through the eyes of love and to remember at all times that only love is real. When you look beyond the illusion to see the beauty in the world, you align yourself with source and the intentions of your soul because you attract what you are. When you see through the eyes of love, that's what will surround you in all areas of your life. This card also indicates a need to go within to recognize and address any limiting thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back from experiencing love. This is a time when you must ask yourself, am I truly open to giving and receiving love? We already saw the Six of Pentacles right there. That is about giving and receiving love. Like, we're talking about the material. We're also talking about Venus energy, which is responsible for love and money. Am I truly open to giving and receiving love? Do I truly believe I am worthy of love? And do I really believe that love exists for me? Because love only comes when you believe that it exists, when you're open to giving and receiving it, and when you know that you are worthy. Hallelujah. When you believe in yourself and cherish your life as it is today, love will embrace you in ways you've never known. Unconditional love of self and others will attract more love into your life. Hallelujah. And that's not to say that if I love me, I don't love you. It's just that, like, I gotta make sure that I feel good, because I'm the only person that has to be with me all the time. I'm the one that has to be in my body. Okay, so it's like, you just gotta find the balance there, guys. And you can't feel guilty for sometimes choosing yourself. You know, it's like, oh, what's gonna happen to my mother if I choose me over her? She gonna be all right, and she may have to learn to choose herself. Well, damn, I'm not getting what I need from my daughter or my son. I'm gonna have to choose me so I can get it. You teach them in the process. You teach them in the process. But none of those changes happen until you say, I choose me. I choose me. Come down. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but it costs $750 a month for me to run your social media. I just felt like I need to say that out loud. So if you're trying to bring me anything less than that to run social media, then it's a no for me. Okay? It costs $750 a month for me to manage your brand. If you're trying to bring me anything less than that, then it's not going to work. Okay? Because that is it. So I don't know who was watching this that needs to know that, but that's what it costs. And I do a damn good job. And you're going to find yourself all over the place on anybody's podcast who will take you. And your social media is going to grow. But we're not going to do that for crumbs no more. Okay? Okay? So again, I don't know who needed to hear that or why I said it out loud, but that's what it is. That's what it is. And yeah. Yeah. Two of Cups. We were talking a little bit more about balance. Your love. So good. Deserves an encore. Your love deserves an encore. So good. Come on, where are the cups? Deserves an encore. There it is. Okay. Two lovers hold each other's hands as they join their lives together. Although they do not share the same skin color, they see into the heart and soul of each other and know that they have met their match. Aww. As a result of their openness, they decide to join their lives together in ceremony. The challenge is to keep the lines of communication open and to learn how to grow into their love. They have each other to lean on, and the chalices help nourish each other. This card tells us that when we allow our heart to guide us into relationships, the bond is everlasting. Perfect love, a harmonious relationship match based on mutual trust. You know what? The thing is, we're always looking for an external partner, okay, to do this balance dance with us. But the key to that is having a Two of Cups relationship with yourself. Just like I was talking about, me showing up for myself in a way that I might have somebody else show up for me. You know, because I have a friend, she's always like, maybe I should be your person that collects money on your behalf. And maybe so, but it needs to be me, you know. It needs to be me for it to really stick. I have to be the one that says, hey, I'm in charge of finance right here. And once I get that process together of what is finance like, then sure, you can take over. But I have to first do it, you know. And being your own primary partner will help you to draw in new love and options. Just like I said, I mean, in the last week, I'm like, oh my God, well, which one of these dudes am I going to go out with? All of them, you know. But like, these are intentional men. They're not playing. They're not bringing me crumbs. I'm not wondering where they at. Like, it's legit, you know. But it wasn't until first I have to cut off people who are not doing that for me or with me. But I also had to become my own primary partner, in which I know what love really feels like. I know what a relationship with somebody who cares about you feels like, because I take care of myself. So if a man comes into my experience and he's not doing the bare minimum, at least what I'm doing for me, then we definitely can't rock, you know. But it took me some time to get there. It took me time to get there because I never knew that I mattered. I never knew that I had value. And it's because I was letting that damn devil talk to me every motherfucking day in a really awful way. And I was believing everything that was being said in my mind. And I just kind of saw it like almost like a sponge. Like I was taking it in like it was part of me, this lie about who I was and how I was. And that's not true. You got to know who you belong to, and you got to know who you are. So once again, like I said from the guy I talked to last week, remember who told you. Remember who instructed you to get out here and do whatever it is that you're trying to do. We all have a different agenda, but if you feel like you're moving on behalf of the divine, you're going to be up against some pretty heavy opposition. And I say this all the time, but it's like, if I were the devil, I would hate me too. Because one day I'm going to speak to millions of people about how to fight and how to overcome and how to change their mindset and how to get into a space of power in order for them to be able to receive, so they can stop crumbing themselves, so they can stop struggling, so they can stop suffering. It's you. You've got to be your own hero. And I can't wait. But leading up to that point, I have to talk to the few people that I talk to. So that's part of it. If you have a big dream like that, you have a big vision like that, just remember you have to start somewhere. So if you don't start small, you never get big. All right. So that's all I have for today. I didn't say make sure you subscribe. Whatever. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe the video, okay? And yes, I'll see you later. Don't be a self-hater.